Lions backs really against the wall now.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, everybody. Matt Dery with you, Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network on a Sunday following another Lions loss, this time to the Rams, 41-34 in LA to drop Detroit to 8-6. We appreciate you making us your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Bottom line, and we'll get into it. We will discuss the defense. We will talk about the day that Amon-Ra St. Brown and the offense had, which was very good. Lack of officiating help once again, and game balls. All of that coming up here on the Sunday edition of Locked On Lions on this December 14th into a Monday, December 15th. Great to be with you, Matt Dery. Again, 41-34 Rams over the Lions. I didn't have a good feeling about this game. I really thought the Lions were not as good as LA. I thought the Rams were going to win this football game. And that's the way it went today. Unfortunately, Lions led at the half 24-17. It looked like a shootout. It looked like the Lions were going to be right there with LA. Offense was humming in the first half with Jared Goff and the 3 touchdown passes, but too much Puka Nakua, too much Matthew Stafford, too much Rams run game, not enough Lions defensive line. Do you know that the Lions pay Alim McNeill over $24 million a year? Does he even play? They never call his name. You didn't hear Kevin Burkhardt say Alim McNeill. Did I hear Tom Brady say Alim McNeill? No. Turn on the radio. Do you ever hear Dan Miller say the name Alim McNeill? Guy makes no plays. The first round pick this year, Tyleik Williams, he doesn't even play. And the Lions got pushed around today. But again, they're at 8-6. The Rams have now won 11 games at 11-3. They're the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. They look really, really good. And now it forces Detroit to have to basically win out to make the playoffs. And they need help. All right. Packers today lost Micah Parsons to what looks like a torn ACL, which would be a devastating injury for them. But Detroit's going to need to win next week against Pittsburgh, on Christmas Day at Minnesota, and it could come down to week 18 against the Bears for the last playoff spot. It's possible that's the way this is going to go. Now, Green Bay could fold. They lost today to Denver, but their schedule is easier than the Bears. Bears got to play the Packers, the Niners on the road, and the Lions at home. So we kind of expected this today. I kind of expected Green Bay to lose in Denver. We expected the Bears to beat the Browns. I mean, the Browns aren't even a professional team. And we expected the Lions as 6-point underdogs to lose at the Rams. The Rams just don't lose. I mean, Matthew Stafford throwing that interception early in the game, and a great play by Aiden Hutchinson, was the first INT Stafford's thrown at home in like 2 years. But the Lions have their issues. They've got injuries on defense, but today they allowed over 500 yards of total offense. Matthew Stafford averaged 15 yards per completion. And the third quarter today was booty. The Lions were outscored 17-0. And adjustments were made at the half by Sean McVay and his staff. Lions, came out of the second half locker room, made no adjustments, could never get the run game going. And now they've got to win their last 3 games here. According to ESPN Analytics, the Lions now have a 34% chance of making the playoffs. Now, again, that number could go up next week if the Lions beat Pittsburgh and the Bears lose to the Packers. There's all sorts of combinations. But the bottom line is these teams in the NFC, San Francisco, the Rams, Seattle, Green Bay, the Bears. I'm not including anybody in the NFC South because that's a winner of a division by default. But these teams all are playing better football. Philly, they're all playing better than Detroit. They just are. Well, the Eagles aren't playing great, but the Eagles already beat the Lions head-to-head, and they're going to win that division. I mean, today, 44-year-old Phillip Rivers and the Colts nearly beat the Seahawks in their house. This thing is wide open. But the problem is Lions just have not played well in the division. They have 1 division win against 3 losses, and they've just not given themselves a lot of margin for error here. And as Dan Campbell said after the game today, what he told his team, Quote, it should burn at you. It should eat you up. Do not go numb to the losing. But what I saw today was a Rams offensive line that we knew coming into the game was one of the best run blocking offensive lines in the league. And even on the last play, the real big play, the play that mattered the most, it was the second down just after the 2-minute warning. And Kyron Williams ran for a first down. And I want you to go back and rewatch the video. Watch the tape and watch all 5 of the Rams offensive linemen just absolutely destroy the Lions D-line. Push them back 5-10 yards off the ball. Kyron Williams averaged 5 yards a carry. Blake Corum averaged 6.5 yards a carry. They ran for 159, and the Lions ran for 70. It reminded me of the old Michigan, Ohio State. And excuse the voice, everybody. I have a cold right now and a sore throat, amongst other things. But it reminded me of Michigan, Ohio State, where every year we talk about the team that runs the ball better wins. Today, the Rams outgained the Lions on the ground by nearly 90 yards. 160 to 70. They could not get Jahmyr Gibbs going. You got to give credit to the Rams. They took Jahmyr Gibbs out of this game. St. Brown was incredible today. Jameson Williams was very good today. Both those guys went over 100 yards receiving. Jared Goff was given time today, but the Lions just could not block the Rams offensively in the ground game, and they couldn't get to Matthew Stafford much today at all. Stafford was sacked twice, but he had all kinds of time. And Puka Nakua against, backups in the secondary. The Lions had to start Eric Hallett at safety today because Thomas Harper was still out with a concussion. We already know Brian Branch is out for the year. Kirby Joseph had a setback, which we talked about on Friday. So his season's likely in jeopardy. And you're asking that offense with Devontae Adams and Parkinson and Nakua and those backs, you're asking guys like Avonte Maddox and Daniel Thomas and Eric Hallett. Eric Hallett was on the practice squad earlier this week. He started tonight. And he was terrible. Let's just call it what it is. The poor kid was bad. He was great against the Tampa Bay Bucks. That was a great game a few weeks ago. But it was not happening today. And I don't mean to just pick on Alim McNeill, who's making $24 million a year, or Aiden Hutchinson. Look, Aiden Hutchinson made an incredible play today on that interception early in the game. Awesome athletic play from Aiden. The rest of the day, 3 tackles, 1 sack, 3 quarterback hits. I guess statistically wasn't terrible. I'm looking on the stat sheet and I don't see Alim McNeill's name for a single tackle. And your first round pick, Tyleik Williams, had 1 tackle. The Lions are getting pushed around. They don't have a left guard. All right. Miles Frazier looked good in limited snaps, but they kept playing Tristan Colon, and he allowed like 4 or 5 pressures and missed a key block that allowed a sack on Goff. Why is Tristan Colon playing? Leave Miles Frazier in there. Let the kid play. Tristan Colon is a journeyman. That's coaching. That's a coaching mistake. Put Frazier in there and let him play. That was stupid. Jeez. Why am I getting mad? I picked the Rams to win. I knew the Lions weren't winning this game. The Rams are better. The Rams look like a Super Bowl contender. The Lions don't. They just don't. And a lot of it is injuries. All right, I'm going to use it. I'm going to say it. I'll play the card. You don't have Brian Branch. You don't have Kirby Joseph. That stings. They need Mahogany back. They need a real center. Someone that can move some bodies up front. They desperately need Frank Ragnow to come out of retirement next year again. I'm okay. 41-34 Rams over the Lions today. The Rams get the win to improve to 11-3. They've won 6 of 7 at home. They've won 8 of their last 9 games. Lions are playing a lot of win 1, lose 1 football right now. And I know they have not lost 3 in a row in 3 years, or 2 in a row in 3 years. Excuse me. 2 in a row in 3 years. They get the Steelers this coming Sunday at Ford Field in a must-win game. Pittsburgh plays tomorrow night at home in the freezing cold against Miami. So the Lions will get the Steelers off a short week. Let's talk about some positives. The offense and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I got to dive deeper into the defense. We will do that coming up next. Rams 41, Lions 34. It's a Sunday edition of Locked On Lions. We're going to talk about our Everydayers Club, too, coming up next as well. But first, Locked On Lions are brought to you by our friends at Aura Frames. It's the holidays. They're officially here. You're shopping for gifts. Gift hunting is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap. It's a way to share memories because Aura isn't your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it. So when they plug it in, the memories are already there. No apps to figure out, no setup headaches, just instant smiles. All right. Endless uploads of pictures and 30-second videos. All are easy through the Aura app. You add a personalized message right inside the frame, so the gift feels thoughtful the moment it is open. It's a holiday gift that actually gets used, not forgotten in a drawer. For limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using the promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code LOCKEDON. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. All right, back on Locked On Lions. Lions fall to the Rams 41-34. Matt Dery with you. Thank you for making Locked On Lions your first listen of the day, and thank you for making the Locked On Podcast Network #1. We are the #1 sports podcast network. Now, you already live for your team every single day. Let's take it up a notch and go ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club today and get Locked On Lions with no interruptions, members-only Discord access, and more, all for just $5 a month. All right? $5 a month is nothing. Go to lockedonlions.supercast.com or check out the link in the show notes to learn more. I'm on the Discord. We can have discussion during the games. Had a few people going back and forth with me today, like Chris Drew and Steve Facine, some others. Join the Everydayers Club, folks, and check out all the information in the show notes on our YouTube page. Lions lose today to the Rams 41-34. Matthew Stafford throws for 368, 2 touchdowns, a 101.6 passer rating. Kyron Williams, 78 yards, 2 scores. Blake Corum, 71 yards. He had a touchdown. Puka Nakua, a career high, 181 yards receiving on 9 catches. Colby Parkinson had a couple of touchdowns today, including that 26-yard touchdown pass. That, by the way, was not a touchdown. He was down at the 1-yard line. Dean Blandino on Fox said he was down. They weren't even sure he caught the ball. Here's the thing. I'm not going to blame the refs today. The Lions gave up 41 points. You give up 41 points, you're not going to win. But we nearly had the second game this season where the other team wasn't penalized. Did you realize it took till like a minute to go in the game, or 3 minutes to go in the game, for the Rams to finally be penalized? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. The officiating in this sport is a complete and colossal mess. Tom Brady says, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the defender's draped all over his back. How is that not a penalty? Colby Parkinson catches the ball. His knee is down on the 1-yard line. Dean Blandino, referee expert on Fox. Oh, let's go to a good old Dino. Hey, let's slap it up with Deanie boy. Oh, but Dean says he's down at the 1. Let's go down to the official, Graham Eke or Eek or Clark Eke or whatever his name was. I don't even know who this ref was today. Ruling on the field stands touchdown. And Burkhardt and Botox Brady are like, oh, let's go back to Dean. I don't know, guys. What are we doing? And this seems to only happen against the Lions. Earlier in the year against the Chiefs, they did not commit a single penalty. Today, 1 on the Rams. You can't tell me there wasn't a hold in there somewhere. pass interference, defensive holding. I mean, I'm not telling you the refs cost the Lions the game, but I'm tired of watching the Lions get screwed. It's getting a little annoying. One penalty. The Rams are really good. They don't need a 12th man on the field wearing stripes. They're good with 11. Come on now. Can't tell me they committed one penalty, and that's it. As far as the defense goes today, again, you don't get enough pressure, you're not going to win. And I know Stafford gets rid of the ball quickly. I know Stafford throws no-look passes. I know Stafford's probably going to the Hall of Fame. We saw Matthew Stafford for years here in Detroit. He's excellent. He's very, very good. But if you give him that kind of time and you allow the running backs to average 5 a carry, 6.5 a carry, it's going to be a long day. The Lions up front are not good enough. They're not. They're not good enough. And some of the misses that Brad Holmes has had over the years in drafting is coming back to bite them. Broderick Martin was like a 3rd-round pick. He's not even on the team. Tyleik Williams was a 1st-round pick. He's not playing. DJ Reader was handed $14 million a year. He has been mediocre for 2 years. He's a great guy in the community. God bless DJ Reader. He had 2 tackles today, and that's it. Alim McNeill is making $24 million a year. Aiden Hutchinson's making over $40 million a year in a few years. Where were those guys today? They got manhandled. And as far as the secondary is concerned, who is the biggest and highest price free agent the Lions went after this offseason? It was DJ Reed. He's a damn bobblehead trying to guard these guys. See his head? Wow, he's tripping over his feet. He's 5 yards. He's not even close. Puka Nakua absolutely manhandled DJ Reed today. I need to see better out of DJ Reed. Hopefully this is just a bad year, and he's back next year and playing the way he played with the Jets. Maybe he's just still injured. I don't know. What is up with DJ Reed? Thought he was supposed to be our number 1 corner. He got cooked today. And look, Puka Nakua cooks everybody. I get that. He's excellent. I'm not expecting, Lester Hayes, Hanford Dixon shutdowns here. But the dude went for a career high 181 yards receiving. Averaged 20 yards a reception. And look, Amon-Ra St. Brown cooked. And the offense today was not the problem. I know the 3rd quarter they got shut down a little bit, and the Rams made some adjustments. But how about Amon-Ra St. Brown and how good? He is so good. That dude balled out today. 13 catches, 164 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was everywhere today. And we said it all last week. The Rams corners are not that good. And St. Brown was eating today. He was fantastic. Jameson Williams, I thought, had a really good game. He almost came up with a huge diving catch on that deep ball. 7 catches today for JMO, 134. He had a touchdown. But credit the Rams defense. They held Jahmyr Gibbs to a total of 58 yards, 38 on the ground, 20 through the air. And David Montgomery, who averaged 4.5 a pop and had 6 carries in the first half, 1 carry in the second half. And I know the game was kind of spiraling out of control a little bit, and the Rams were able to do a lot offensively. They outscored the Lions 17-0 in the 3rd quarter, forcing the Lions to have to throw. But I thought they went away from Montgomery too quickly in that second half. When they pounded him early in the game and he went in for the touchdown and everything else, that was great. But tough to win when your offense isn't on the field. But, 519 total yards today for the Rams. 396 for the Lions. Oh, wait a minute. The Rams got called for 2 penalties? Was it something late in the game that I missed? Oh, okay. Yay, 2 penalties. Whee! But mistakes were made early in this game. Dan Campbell, for some inexplicable reason, tried to challenge a spot that was like a 1 or 2 yard difference, but it wasn't on a first down, nor was it on a touchdown. They lost the timeout because of that. That was inexcusable. And Jake Bates missed a field goal today, which does not help. You cannot miss field goals and make those kind of mistakes. A couple of the holding calls today hurt. The one on Sewell hurt early in the game. The one on that Ricci guy that the Lions now have. Great to see the flying Zylstra brothers back, Shane Zylstra. Lions have like 17 different tight ends. Ricci, fresh off the practice squad, had a huge holding call, which pushed the Lions back to a 2nd and 15, and they were forced to punt. Rams are damn good, though. Now, you got to beat the Steelers, the Vikings, and the Bears. And if the Lions win those 3 games, they'll end with 11 wins, which is kind of what we all expected at the start of the year. So I'm not saying the season's over, but they're just playing very inconsistent football. And the defense right now looks lost. It does. I mean, you're talking about Dallas. Dallas lit them up, and the Lions kind of had to outscore the Cowboys last week. Packers, we know, took them to Pound Town on Thanksgiving. The Giants and Jameis Winston were lighting up the scoreboard. Really, the Eagles game was the last time this defense played pretty well. Kelvin Shepard, who's done a really good job, has got to get this group regrouped. But again, when you're out there with Daniel Thomas and Avonte Maddox and Khalil Dorsey had to play a little bit today. They're without Terrion Arnold. They're without Brian Branch. Kirby Joseph is such a key part of this thing, and who knows if he's ever going to come back with the knee. Makes it difficult. Game balls. We will hand some out coming up next here on a Sunday Locked On Lions. All right, mentioned it before, Dolphins and Steelers for Monday Night Football. Check it all out on FanDuel. NFL weekends move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. Maybe a receiver like St. Brown today gets hot. A defense tightens up or the momentum flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and much more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Do it tonight. If you're watching tonight or listening tonight for the Cowboy game. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Shout out to our everydayers. Those are our listeners that watch and listen to the podcast daily. We appreciate all of you. Please sign up for the Everydayers Club. It is very simple. Check it all out. I never remember the darn LockedOnLions.supercast.com. Go there, check it out. LockedOnLions.supercast.com. Deep breath. I'm not that surprised they're 8-6 based on the schedule. It's just where this whole thing is going to shake out. Now, I still say it's going to come down to week 18 and that Bears game. I think the Lions are going to win next week against the Steelers. Pittsburgh, short week. Pittsburgh's not that good. Thanksgiving Day at Minnesota, they got to beat the Vikings, right? They're not going to get swept by the Vikings. And they got to hope for some help. Our crack research staff is checking in. If Chicago and Green Bay both win 2 of the next 3, Lions are out, and one will win next week. Yeah, San Francisco needs 1 win, and they're in before the Lions because of their NFC record. Seattle needs 1 win to beat out Lions. They play at the Rams, at Carolina, and at Seattle. There's a chance with this one for the Lions, but slight. They'd have to go 0-3. Seattle would have helped today if the Colts would have held on and won that game. Kid hit a 60-yard field goal, a Blake Groupie, and then Shane Steichen left too much time on the clock. And Jason Myers hit a 56-yard field goal, and Seattle won. Some wild games today. Absolutely wild. All right, let's hand out some game balls, shall we? We do that each and every Sunday after the games. Pretty easy on the offensive side of the ball. I thought Jared Goff played really well today. I'm giving him a game ball. Going back to L.A., 25 out of 41, 338 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, a passer rating of 111.6. He was really good. Really good. That deep shot to J-Mo on the touchdown. I loved seeing some deep shots Lions got the Hutchinson pick. They go deep down on a post to St. Brown right away. They hit JMO a couple times on deep balls and almost hit another one. Got to stretch the defense. Got to keep the defense honest. I liked most of the play calling today. Really did. St. Brown today gets a game ball. Amon-Ra is the man. 13 catches, $164, 2 touchdowns. He was targeted 18 times today. 18 times. I'm not going to make a comment about this year's 3rd round pick. I'm not going to get negative. You guys don't need to hear that. They're the whole show. Defensively, game ball. I thought Jack Campbell played well. I know there were a couple of times he kind of lost contain on some outside zone runs, but 14 tackles today for Jack Campbell, 10 of them solo. The guy's just all over the field. He is as good a middle linebacker as there is in the game. So I'm giving Jack Campbell a game ball today. That's it. I mean, who else should get a game ball? Nobody. This was the kind of shootout we expected. Rams are really good. They looked the part today. Lions couldn't get the stops when they needed them. And the 3rd quarter was a killer as the Lions were outscored 17-0 and outscored 24-10 in the second half to lose 41-34. We're going to catch up with former Lion Stephen Tyleik this week, working on that. Lions will play the Steelers coming up on Sunday at 4:25 on CBS at Ford Field this coming week. Chris Carter, host of Locked On Steelers, will join me for the crossover on Thursday. Everybody stay warm. It is bitter cold out there. Hope everybody has a good rest of the weekend. Thanks again, everybody, for making us your first listen, checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget, follow us on social media, Facebook, Locked On Lions, Instagram, TikTok, all of it. Lions a loser today, 41-34 to the Rams. We are back again tomorrow with the PFF grade.